Good morning. This is Pat Ray, and we're talking about substance abuse this morning. This is Saturday morning. I'm doing this really early to get some quiet time. So, today, what I need from you, as usual, will be a progress note. So, if you could give me a piece of paper and get that piece of paper, print your first and last name so that I can read it. Put today's date on it. And please put that this is substance abuse group. We have so many groups. I also need the topic on there. And my notes are to my left, so I'll be looking at those from time to time. Our topic today is developing self-esteem and a positive attitude. So I need that on there, developing self-esteem. And I also need you to write down 3 sentences, statements about what you learned, what you thought about, or what you wanted to discuss on that piece of paper at the end of this session. I'm also going to upload the worksheets for this session. They should be on Facebook. That's Pat's Prevention and Treatment Services, all one word, on Facebook. If you can't get to that, please email me, pat@changeisachoice.org, and I will get those materials to you. So there will be some assignments in there, and I need you for full credit to write the answers on a piece of paper and either make a screenshot of that as you would your progress note also, and send that to me. You can text it 217-766-9132, or you can email pat@changeisachoice.org. I really need to have that to get full credit. In order to get full credit, you will need to, of course, either check in if you have insurance, and by that I mean I have to have that homework in order to sign you in. If someone else is paying for your services, on your sheet, I need to have that down. So maybe that might be CYFS, DCFS, probation, whoever it is. And please put that on there. If you are paying cash, I will need you to get a check or money order and mail it to me at Pat's, P-A-T-S, 300 South Broadway, Urbana, Urbana, Illinois, 61801. If you are paying by debit or credit, please call me 217-766-9132 in order to pay over the phone. So in order to get full credit, this is what I need. Number 1, I need a progress note. Number 2, I need the worksheets. Number 3, I need payment or check-in and letting me know who is paying. Okay? All right, let us just go back to our topic again, developing self-esteem and a positive attitude. All right, so let's, for a moment, let's talk about what self-esteem really is. Self-esteem is a state of mind. It's how you feel about yourself. If you have high self-esteem, you may feel very confident, feel worthy, you have positive regard for yourself. So people who have high self-esteem feel good about themselves. They feel a sense of belonging and security. They respect themselves and they appreciate others. So that's something to think about. They feel they tend to be successful in life. because they feel confident in taking on challenges. Yes. And they're able to risk failure because their self-esteem is not dependent on that. They have more energy sometimes for positive pursuits, and their energy is not wasted on negative emotions, feelings of inferiority, that kind of thing. They are invested in self-care because they love and respect themselves. Now, where does this come from? Well, the amount of self-esteem you have is dependent on many factors. One of those is how you were raised, the parental attitudes in the house, your life experiences. Some people lose self-esteem and feel bad about themselves because of failures or disappointments in life, or because of the way others in their lives have treated them. It is important to know that self-esteem can be gained at any time in life. Ideally, it happens in childhood. Realistically, most people cultivate it later in life. Okay, excuse me, let's break that down. We were talking a minute ago about where it comes from. So early on in life, we become aware of how we feel about ourselves. It is a direct reflection or connection about ourselves related to how others view us. Yeah, as a little kid. Now, as life goes along, that idea, self-image, self-esteem, the way we look at ourselves, continues based on life events. Maybe we had a hypercritical family interactions and family members, but when we got to school, we had some super good role models, some teachers and mentors and whatnot that really helped us to see the value of ourselves. Or maybe not. Maybe when we got to school, it continued with cranky and grouchy teachers, mean kids, that kind of thing. So a lot about how we see ourselves is dependent on those things, as well as things that we achieve in life. So if I have set out to achieve a goal and I accomplish that, that increases my self-confidence and my self-esteem. On the other hand, if what I've tried to accomplish that's important to me, I fail at it, that can also be an impact on our self-esteem. Now, folks who generally have positive self-esteem, if they have a failure, they don't associate that with their own self-worth. No, they say, that didn't work. I learned something, I'll move on. Folks with lower self-esteem may be likely to give up and say, I can't do it. So self-esteem is very important. To have positive self-esteem means that we are more able to reach out, take opportunities, take risks, enjoy positive relationships. We are not held back by our fears and insecurities. We are more likely to pursue our dreams and desires and making good choices and reaching our goals. So, here's the thing. Low self-esteem and substance abuse are often connected. When I don't feel good about myself, I might be more likely to reach out to get something that makes me feel better, only in the moment. So, That can be a number of things. I can use alcohol or other drugs. I can shop, buy myself clothes or material things. I can gamble. I can have a series, excuse me, a series of relationships, one after another, each time feeling really good in the beginning and then having a crash later on. So there are many things. Food makes me feel good physically in the moment. So whatever it is I'm using to make myself feel better. Folks with low self-esteem tend to do those things, whereas people with higher self-esteem, they reach out and live life. They enjoy surroundings and people. They are not as likely to become addicted or to abuse substances. Okay, so now in this worksheet that I'm going to be sending you, here are some things that may describe you in your life. So here are some things I would like for you to answer. What is your education level? What about work? Education, work, what are you doing for work? Who are the friends in your life? Who are you hanging out with? And are they uplifting? Are they negaholics? How would you describe them? What about your family? Is family supportive? Is family generally happy? Or are there issues, concerns, a lot of criticism associated? What about your physical self? Are you in good shape? Do you feel good physically, or are there some health issues? How do you see yourself physically? Your emotional self. Do you feel like you're pretty much able to handle and manage your emotions? So write a sentence or a phrase about how you handle emotions. What do you do with your emotions? Important one, guys. Strengths and talents. I have asked this question on many, many assessments. I am sometimes saddened because people they can't find one thing, not one thing that they feel like they're good at. Now, that is just not true. We are good at something. Some people say, yeah, I'm good at screwing up. No, I'm not talking about that. You really do have some strengths, things that you feel like, yeah, I do that well. Or people have told you, you're good at that. Or I appreciate that in you, whatever it might be, okay? So dig deep. Partner and or mate. What do you, when you think of a partner or your partner or a long-term life mate, what comes to your mind? What have yours been like? What is your idea of a good partnership? Now, here's another one. Spiritual self. Your spiritual self. You say, I'm not religious. Well, guys, spirituality is not religion. Religion is what they call dogma, or set of rules and guidelines that we live by. And each denomination has their own set. Many of them are similar, or even the same. Some are not. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about spirituality. So what I want you to do is Google that. Yes, Google it, look it up, go to your phone, punch in spirituality, and then tell me, are you a spiritual person? Okay. So now the whole deal with this is, it gives us an idea of what we look like, our strengths, the things we're doing well, the things that we are involved in. And through that, we get a better idea of where our self-esteem is. So, sometimes we find out that what we listed in those things we feel negatively about. Other times we find that there are things that we feel really good about. Excuse me, my cat is trying to cross the computer like he always does. Herbie, get through there. Go on, go. Sorry. I'm on his desk. Let's see. He's having a bit of a problem getting across. And he shut off the power to everything. Okay, so we're back on track. Now he's coming back. I'm so sorry. Herbie. Darn it. Okay. Back to self-esteem. Okay, so some people, once we identify these, we can identify our patterns of self-esteem. So in low self-esteem, we find out that it is instigated, perpetuated is the word, by our behaviors, thoughts, and actions. So we look at these things, and I'm going to give you some indicators of things that contribute to our low self-esteem. Lack of faith in myself and others, lack of purpose or meaning in life, lack of goals to motivate and guide me, dependence on others for a self of importance or a meaning in life. In other words, if I don't have a man, if I don't have a woman, if I don't have whoever, I have no meaning, no reason to live. Another, failing to accept responsibility for my life and my well-being. That's another indicator. Failing to recognize, appreciate, and reward myself. Adhering to false concepts and assumptions about myself. False concepts. In other words, seeing myself in a negative light when it's just not true. Feelings of negativity toward myself and others. Failing to develop my abilities and my talents. And that's because I don't want to take a risk. I don't feel like I can do it. Comparing myself to others. How many times do we do that? Looks like that person over there has got it all together. Wish I did. Okay. Feeling a need to give in, please, or agree with others in order to be accepted. Feelings I have to prove myself to others. Resisting, fretting, or worrying about things I can do nothing about. Not allowing myself the freedom to make mistakes and fail. In other words, perfectionism. I have to be perfect. Not allowing myself freedom or self-expression. Being impatient, harsh, or demanding of myself. Now, as I have listed those, and you may need to play those back, as I have listed those, I would like for you to think about, do any of those ever go through your mind? Do you ever think or feel in any of those ways? Okay. So, I want you now to write 3 words that describe you. Okay, 3 words. Now I want you to think about and write down, what are 3 words that friends or family might use to describe you? Okay. That helps us to get an idea of where we are. Okay. So now, in order to complete this assignment and to get full credit, I need you to write down some goals you're willing to work on in order to develop and increase your self-esteem. So maybe you want to work on your overall level of self-esteem. Maybe you want to work on your mental attitude. Maybe you want to begin some physical exercise. Maybe you want to do a makeover, your personal appearance. Maybe you want to reevaluate your career focus and direction. Maybe you want to take a look at who you're hanging out with and how do you get along with them. What are your skills when it comes to other people? We call those interpersonal skills. Maybe you want to work on your assertiveness. In other words, you want to be able to put your thoughts and feelings out there without disrespecting or causing damage to another person. Decision making, maybe you've been kind of wishy-washy in that area. Maybe that's a goal. Overcoming fear, being able to take more risks. Maybe it is developing professional skills, going back to school, seeking something that you had thought about doing in the past, but because of your fear or low self-esteem, you didn't reach out for it. So maybe you would want to develop your listening skills so you can better understand those who you love and who love you, or even your boss. Negotiation skills, how to get what you want in a positive, respectful manner, how to negotiate. Now, I'm sure that that is not the extensive list that you may have, but what I would like for you to do is to choose some goals that you would be willing to work on. And if any of those are something you might want, check off the top 3. We can do everything all at once. And then as you set your goal, make a plan, baby steps. If I want to go back to school, I got to go out there. Maybe I'll start online, and I will go online and see what's offered. Then I might go to the school, talk to a school counselor out there, and get some information. I may need to figure out how I'm going to pay for it and take the steps in that. So baby steps, whatever it is, new job, new career, learning how to be assertive means I've got to first of all know what that is, look it up, do some browsing on the web to find out more about assertiveness, get some books, watch some videos, whatever. So those are the things. Now, what does that have to do with substance abuse? When I, number 1, feel good about myself. Number 2, that I have goals that I am pursuing. I identify my strengths, and therefore I use them to have a better life. And all this stuff, when I do those things, when I feel those things, I don't need to self-medicate with substances, with gambling, with shopping. I don't need to numb the pain, forget the pain, because I'm moving forward, I'm feeling good about myself, I'm less likely to abuse. Okay? So, now, that's the long and short of this lesson. I hope to hear from you soon. Text me, email me, and don't forget your progress note and the answers to the questions that I have asked you. All right. I hope that everyone is well. I hope that this social distancing thing ends soon. If not, we'll keep plugging along, trying to, or not trying, but doing the best that we can to keep communication so that you can continue to move on towards your goal of getting done with all this. And our goal, which is to do what we can do to help you to reach those goals. All right, have a good day. This is the Saturday Substance Abuse Group. Thank you.